Human beings, since they were a species, सिर्फ survival ढूंढ रहे हैं. Everything human beings do, think and plan is purely for survival. Survival dictates all our practices, all our actions and reactions in the real world are a direct consequence of our innate desire to survive. All our ideas and energy go into ensuring the survival of our loved ones and us. But does it? क्योंकि जो चीज़ें लोग करते हैं, it couldn't exactly be explained away by survival. Doesn't it feel like मैं कुछ मिस कर रहा हूँ? Maybe because that isn't what we actually live for. हम जो भी करते हैं शायद उसका कुछ और गोल है. Maybe हमारी species has an inner drive for change itself. Maybe the common belief that humans naturally resist change बिल्कुल भी true नहीं है. And the only thing humans do naturally is change for a goal that is not so eternal. So where does the notion that human beings hate change come from? With every generation, societies start changing and people start to destroy ideas and practices that were not so beneficial for their ideal societies. But these things still seem shallow because of how the structure has been built on the principles of older generations still. Which is why even though problems like climate change, overpopulation are really harmful for our survival, they have nothing to stop them apart from people walking on streets with boards in their hands, hoping things will get better eventually. But this could not be a solution. This just feels like we're trapped in a thick liquid which we need to get out of desperately, so that when we try and achieve our goals eventually, we emerge not only victorious but as a better version of ourselves. Maybe just to get out or just to be able to say that we got out, we will try our hardest. We will reach the limit and redefine that limit. And I have a very strong feeling that the revolution started by the early men never ended. Ideas have been circulated that human beings have stopped evolving for the last 10,000 years, which is not only false biologically, but also because this accusation ignores that evolution takes place to adapt to surroundings, not to itself. Many people have tried to understand this concept, this innate desire for humans to go further than they need to. Whenever an idea that has the potential for the betterment of everyone emerges out, no matter how hard people try and deny it, everyone eventually end up accepting it. Because of a very select few, but ever-present group of minority that saw right through society and into how the idea can change everything. They saw the potential, no matter how unpopular the idea, no matter how dangerous the idea. वो उसके through लड़ते हैं. Not because the opposition is bad, but because it is difficult and it helps the idea reach its true potential. एक मूवी द ट्रूमन शो इस टॉपिक को बहुत डिटेल में एक्सप्लोर करती है. ट्रूमन एक वर्ल्ड में होता है जहाँ लाइफ क्वाइट लिटरली उसके लिए बनी होती है. Everything he views and interacts with is handcrafted for him. Everything is perfect. But when he starts to suspect things and tries to dig around, धीरे धीरे उसके suspicions true होने लगते हैं.
Can I help? Oh, yeah. I have an appointment at Gable Enterprises.
They were bust.
What's happened?
Nothing.
And this curiosity, no matter how hard the creators of the show try, just gets stronger in him. Usko even realize hota at the end that life outside is no better than what he has in here. In fact, it could be worse. He doesn't have to go out. He doesn't even want to. But वो एक इंसान है. And human beings need to change. They need to change themselves. They need to change everything bad about themselves. They need to transform everything about themselves so that they are better equipped to further change themselves. हर चीज़ को ढूंढने या इन्वेंट करने के लिए रिस्क उठाने की ज़रूरत होती है. एंड लोगों ने थ्रू आउट हिस्ट्री उठाए वो रिस्क, लोगों ने वो काम किए, लोगों ने अपनी जान भी गंवाई. Even if a single one of them understood its potential, the idea was carried along until they could bring it to the real world. Even death toll was never an alarm bell to cease practice in any field, and it doesn't seem to bother us now either. But why? Isn't the fundamental idea of survival to not die? Trying to understand this inner flame, we get at this inner desire to achieve something bigger than all of us, which comes from human beings' unique ability to be self-aware, to be able to imagine ourselves from an outside perspective. हमें जो ये gift मिला है, where we have the ability to change ourselves as needed, gives me the impression that the gods that we have been imagining for centuries are no one but us.
You ask me if I have a God complex? Let me tell you something. I am God.
Imagine if we could create a self-aware machine and give it a brain. The machine will try to protect itself first, and once it's safe, it will start finding ways to make itself better at making itself safer. Better in every regard of the world. Better suited for its environment, better suited for its threats. There was a machine that was created that's self-aware enough to keep making itself better. The machine was even given a brain. We are the ones with that ability, and we built ourselves. And to think that we have no limits apart from the ones that we created for ourselves, मेरे को ये सोचने पे मजबूर कर देती है कि हम कितनी दूर जाएंगे. Mankind has never stopped climbing the ladder that we built for ourselves. We never stopped thinking out of the box. We never held back for the fear of death or life. We have never stopped to think what will happen if we go ahead. So why now? Isn't it time that we take that leap of faith? Yet again, just how history has taught us? And since I am the host of this video, isn't it time to leave? Time to think about how to get out of this planet? Into the actual world? Into the dark about which we would have no idea, out of the limits we define for us, and make our home yet again.